Designated Survivor Episode 7, The Traitor. This is a really interesting episode. There's a lot of crazy secret stuff going on. We already have the overarching conspiracy theory going on, which isn't much of a theory, it's just a crazy conspiracy action going on at this point. Then we have a little bit more information on who Katana is. We actually get not only an actual name, but we get the guy's face as well, and we have a little flashback where he was actually in this episode, and he walked right past Wells and Atwood. Then we have, of course, the ending of the episode where Atwood is now being blackmailed, and whoever these people are, they want him to do something with the president. And based on the way the woman said it, I just assumed that she was, kind of hinting towards, we just want you to basically, kill the president. But I think it might be a little bit more than that. So it's really hard to say. Then we have this, three-way deal going on, like a three-way international spy trade. Then of course we still have Leo's possibly biological father. Technically, they don't know, but we just have to wait and see. It's a possibility, his possible biological father. Still kind of playing few cards he has, and it's like, hey, I want a presidential pardon, basically. Time served, and I'm free to go. And all this stuff, happening all at once, as usual, like every episode. It's just a crazy strain on Kirkman where, in this one, he didn't, excuse me, he didn't really show that he was too stressed outside of the Leo thing. It was like, things seem to be going fine. He does a little thing where he meets the guy, and then they find out that he got arrested, and then they find out that he's actually a CIA spy. It's like, alright, all this stuff is going well, and I figured something would go wrong. I'm like, I feel like something's going to happen. Either one of these planes is going to get attacked, or just something crazy. I was like, something bad is going to happen somehow. I just didn't expect it to be as simple as it was. It wasn't chaotic or anything like that. This guy turns out to be a double agent. And, Kirkman realizes that he got played, and he's like, man, went through all this, thought everything was working out fine, and then it just all fell apart. It all falls apart at the very end. It's like the only, the whole episode they kept talking about good news. Like, don't you want, to be able to give out good news and stuff like that. And this was the one thing that they had. This is the only good thing they had through the whole episode. And then it falls apart, in the end. And it's like, wow, I didn't expect it to happen that way. So everything was working for that, and then it was like the other stuff was going crazy or going completely wrong. And then by the end, this fell apart too. And it's like, wow, just everything just sucked for him in this whole episode. He talks with Atwood really early on, and of course, they have, the information, or at least some leads, like the tiniest bit of evidence from McLeish, and Atwood can't say anything because McLeish is right there. Of course, he'd just lie about it. And then, of course, he comes to the office and he gives them, 10 years worth of files and stuff. And naturally, Atwood's son disappears in this episode. And I would assume, of course, McLeish is involved with this organization, or whatever they end up calling themselves. But it was just crazy the way it all played out. And now his next meeting with the president won't go as planned, because he wanted to meet with the president alone. That way he could give him all of the theories and ideas that they had, and the little amount of evidence at least. And I thought it was cool at the end, Kirkman decided not to let McLeish instantly be announced as his VP, because he's like, if there's anything I learned after today, it doesn't hurt to know more about a person. So I thought that was a good idea, and I was happy to see that happen, that he wasn't rushing into that, which doesn't seem to fit his character in general. But I was like, after all the craziness, that was that last bit of good news that he could have, decided on, like, what, let's just give the country some good news. But I was glad he waited on that, being cautious as he has been throughout the whole series. But I just like the way it played out, and now we have to wait and see what in the world is going to happen during this next meeting. Like, what is Atwood going to be instructed to do? How is that going to play out? Like, is he going to, I would assume something bad is going to happen. I don't know if he'll end up losing his son and possibly his wife as well, or if he'll just out himself and just kill, or off himself, not out, but kill himself to save them, which still might not work. He wouldn't necessarily know. But it's just crazy with the way it ended. He is in this insane position where he's being confronted with this task of what he's forced to do in order to protect his son, just as well as gets the information from her CIA friend. and it's just bad. You know, she has all this information, and unfortunately, she can't, you know, go past Atwood with him being the deputy director. So I'm not sure what to really expect with that scenario. Like, now things are kind of blending more and more with the, you know, the two storylines. And this organization, you know, we have this woman, so she's, you know, I'm counting McLeish, so I'm going to say that she's the secondary face of this organization at this point. And she's not even hiding in plain sight. She's just like, hey, you know, we're the villains. We kidnapped your son. We'll kill him and your wife. So do as we command. So I don't really know where they're taking things just yet. But I am excited. You know, it's clear that they want something done. But I don't think it's going to be as simple as just kill the president. But I certainly enjoyed what they did. You know, I'm glad they didn't do it where his son was just instantly dead. I was like, that would have been depressing. And then it's just like, who knows if he's next or his wife is next or how they're going to do that. But of course he gets targeted pretty fast. It doesn't seem like they targeted him too much because of the Catalan thing. Like, it's really hard to say if they knew, you know, if this organization knew that they knew about Catalan. It seemed more like, you're the deputy director, you met with the president, and simply put, McLeish has his suspicions. It seemed like that's all it was. It didn't seem like they knew about Catalan or anything like that. And, you know, that's like the one thing they have right now. They're wondering if Catalan is the connection to McLeish at this point. And it might be. And then the other crazy thing would be that McLeish and this organization are totally separate from Catalan. And that's like a whole other crazy organization. But just for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to assume that all of this is somehow related. And Catalan was sent to kill Masid Nashar, and that's pretty much it. They have this guy on retainer, whoever this secret organization is, and now they're just, you know, kind of keeping things in line. Like, alright, he's dead, he probably didn't get any information from them. McLeish, you know, having been in the room, was probably like, okay, that was a little weird, you know, maybe kickstart some things like kidnapping his son. So, you know, it's kind of hard to say exactly how it's all going to play out with exactly what they want, you know, from Atwood, and what he's even gonna decide to do, really, because he wants his son. But, well, you know, what's gonna happen, who knows. But there are like a million threads in this episode, and I enjoyed all of them, to be totally honest. And even the simple stuff with Leo was kind of on two fronts, because of course you have, you know, the actual family element where it's like, what do we tell our son? And then on the other side of it, you have Seth dealing with the reporter Lisa, where it's like, hey, you know, and he had a really good play at the end, because it's like, well, fortunately, I can give her this exclusive story that is better than just a rumor. So I was like, alright, that was a cool play, but based on the promo, it doesn't matter. And this random dude, who knows if that guy was even a reporter, he just walked up to Leo in the promo like, so what do you think about the rumor that your dad's not your dad? And I could just imagine his face, his mind just melting in that sort of moment. So it's all going to fall apart, of course, and we only have, I think, 3 episodes total, because it was like, you know, it's 2 more until the fall finale. So there's a lot, you know, left to happen. We have, you know, threats of children being killed. We have rumors getting out there that, you know, the president might not be Leo's actual father. The fact that it, you know, even if they do a paternity test and he is his biological father, it won't make a difference, because there's that thought process that, you know, for 17 years or whatever, both of Leo's parents didn't technically know. It was like, you know, we just kind of went along with this, but we, technically speaking, don't know if he's your dad or not. And so that's still an issue, even if it is his father. It's just like, you know, because they have the scene where he asks him, like, you know, are you really my father? I don't know if, I would assume he's just going to have to tell him, I don't know, unless they do like a secret paternity test where they like take his blood in the middle of the night. So when he gets confronted, I don't know if he could possibly have a legitimate answer. It's just going to have to be, I don't know. Or he'll do kind of the typical thing where it's like, you know, I'm your dad or whatever because I raised you and all that stuff. Which, you know, not wrong, but the biological part is still up in the air. So there are a lot of different things, you know, some stuff on the grand scale, secret scale with this crazy stuff with McLeish and this organization now, and then, you know, the family scale. So there are a lot of different layers to everything that's going wrong for Kirkman in this episode, and now other people are being threatened, like Atwood. I don't know, Wells doesn't seem to be targeted, and I think that's because they don't know the Catalan thing. Like I said, I think it's just, well, he's the deputy director, and he, you know, kind of confronted McLeish like a little bit, so it's like, all right, well, let's target him. And also, Wells is kind of on her own. She really doesn't have like a husband or anything like that, no children and stuff. So the, you know, more immediate threat plus the easier target is kind of all in one with Atwood. So it makes it simple for them to go after him and take his son. So I am excited to see where they take it. I'm hoping they don't kill Atwood. I like his character. I also like that actor. Both the FBI agents, like Wells and Atwood, I actually like both those actors and the characters in general. So I'm like, I kind of want both of them to just keep making it. And plus, they're the only two characters for the FBI thing. Like, we don't have even a third, like, it's kind of important character that shows up a little. It's the FBI is seriously those two characters, and that is it. If anyone else has a speaking role, it's in one episode, maybe two. Like when they're at the rubble, it was like the same couple of people because they were all there the whole time. But other than that, it's only two characters from the FBI storyline. So it would be kind of crazy if they killed off one of them, and then it's all up to like one person. All the FBI stuff is just centered around one character. So I don't think that'll happen where they kill him off, and I certainly hope they don't. But honestly, it's so insane. You just never know. We gotta wait and see. Sadly, we have to wait 2 weeks before we're able to find out because of, you know, holidays and everything. But I do want to know what you guys thought about this episode. So please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And of course, there are like 800 million mysteries going on now at this point. But I really want to know how you guys think this organization thing is going to play out and what they're going to force Atwood to do. How long is it going to last? Because with it coming up to the mid-season finale, I think that's when it'll either stay the same and something drastic will happen, or it'll just be done. Like, he'll either live or he will be gone. I feel like somebody's going to die by the time we get to the mid-season finale. Like, it might be a main character, or it might be someone close to a main character. And at this point, I think the only couple of people that could die are Atwood's family. Like, it's either going to be his son or his wife, and that's about it. Maybe something will happen with McLeish. It's really hard to say, but I feel like a character is going to die in one way or the other. It'll either be for the better, I assume for the worse, because it's pretty much all the characters are the good guys except for McLeish and now this woman, and that's it. Every other character is like a good character. So it's like anyone that dies, I assume is going to be one of the good guys that I prefer to, you know, have alive. But I want to know your predictions on how all this stuff is going to play out, and of course I want to know what you guys thought about the episode in general. So please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.